Yeah. I went left, they turned right on me, and now they wrong. I proved all of them wrong. Had to throw my pride to the side, had to get it on my own. Carry my team on my back like I'm Karl Malone. I'm steady wheezy out the lungs, but ain't no Holly Grove. Wake up knocking off my demons like it's dominoes, and they yelling, someone save me, cause mentally I'm going crazy.
All right, well, I'm Jazz. My occupation, I cook for a living, and I have a 5-year-old son.
Hi, my name's Allie. I used to work in corporate up until like 2-ish months ago, and then I quit because it sucks, and I don't recommend it. But I decided, I'm like, you know what, I saved up enough money, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, and I'm going to write a book, and I'm moving to Spain at the end of July.
I'm Reese. I cook for a living also, and have 2 kids as well.
Yeah.
I really wish I went first because I don't want to follow that up. My name is Joe. I continue to work in corporate. A lot of my time spent, I guess, over the last year or so has been, especially since the pandemic, has just been trying to get out of my comfort zone and do new things that I normally wouldn't. So in the past year, I've tried skiing, golfing, hiking, a lot of stuff outdoors when I usually don't leave my house unless it's on fire. And even then it's an iffy, I don't know, I'll wait and see. People, they have jobs. People get paid to put those out. Who am I to say? So yeah, a lot of today, we wanted to go to a museum today.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, we were just talking about it before you came over to us, but the past couple days I've been stuff has been not going. I was as soon as I quit corporate, I was like, yo, this is gonna make my depression way better. And it hasn't. It's made it better, but it didn't cure it. So I was in my mind it was gonna make everything so much better, but all the shit going on. Can I curse? I'm sorry. I was in my life. Everything's going on. It really just feels is there stuff to look forward to? But I'm moving to Spain, so I'm keeping that on my hey, there's a future thing coming. So yeah. I don't know, I'm just trying to find the small things that are positive, and yeah, I've been working on spiritual stuff, so we were going through tarot cards when you came over to us, but I don't know, I've been meditating every day, and I've been trying to do stuff. Today at the museum I was almost didn't want to do it because I have I don't know if it's I don't know what it is yet. It could be lupus, it could be Sjogren's, which is kind of similar, but my joints are all messed up, so I was not feeling great about walking around all day today, but I'm glad I came out because I'm feeling a lot better than I was the past couple days, so yeah.
Oh boy. I mean, like she said, we were just talking about it before you guys came up to us, but this week for some reason, I don't know if it's celestial or what it is, but it's just been a wild week and I can't even pinpoint why. Obviously, I mean, for me, stress with work and stuff like that has been piling up, but yeah, it's just been a lot of just bad juju. I don't know if that's that's the worst terminology I could use, but I mean, I can give one example of I went to see Halsey in Maryland on Wednesday, and it was a 2-hour drive, and it rained the entire time, and they canceled the show. So I drove 4 hours with $5 gas prices to go see Halsey. And that just didn't happen, and that kind of just spurred into all of this week. But one thing that I like to try to always do is the kind of opposite. I just try to always find the positive in everything, even if it is the fact that I don't get a refund for my tickets for Halsey. No, it's great. The guy who bought them gets the refund, so that's great. That's not what we're about here now.
Somebody gets a refund. I was wow.
I bought them from him though, so he gets double the money. But no, yeah, I just no matter how depressing or weird things get, I always in my friend group, I've always been the person that will be relentlessly positive, to the point that people have told me to shut up a lot because we'll get into bad situations. I was with my friend at this concert, and it just kept happening in stages where like there was a tornado warning. It was a lawn show, so it was outdoors, so there was just rain pouring on everyone. And then at one point, I don't know what happened in the venue, but like water, like a dam broke or something, and water was just pouring through the stands. It literally looked like a waterfall was coming on us, and I just have a video of like us just like playing in the water, like kicking it, like looking at like this fact that we're like surrounded by a waterfall, and I'm like, this is, you know what, at the end of the day, like we're driving home, I'm like, this sucked, but it's an experience and it's fun. Like, I'm gonna tell this story. Yeah, like that's kind of how I approach everything, whether it's good, bad, or even middling, is if at the end of the day, if I have a good story that I can like come on a random show at Boathouse Row and tell, like at the end of the day, that's all I'm really looking for out of life, is just being able to relay experiences, and whether they're fun, bad, or whatever. And if I tell a really particularly bad experience and someone smiles or laughs out of it, like that's a success for me, and that's all I really kind of want. So that's how I'm feeling.
I mean, we've had a lot of great romantic experiences, so I don't really have like a favorite. Everything is always like really nice, so yeah, I don't know, just everything's always great. So
If we want to go, yeah, like if we want to go off of like what like movies say is romantic and stuff, like I remember I went to Rittenhouse Row with a girl I was seeing at the time, and like we have like a picture of me, her, like around Christmas, around the tree that's like in like one of the parks out there, and like if I want to look at just that picture, yeah, if I showed that to someone, it's probably a really romantic thing, like with someone you love and care about, like in a beautiful situation. But like if I really think about it, I'm like, I don't, like, we just went out. like there wasn't really anything like crazy romantic about it. Like I've gone on like Valentine's dinners and stuff, but like this is really making me internalize a lot.
For me, my favorite, I guess, would be like the start off point, because of the fact that she pulled me, like she was interested in me, so it made it even better. So
I have one. So like I do like art and photography and stuff, and my little sister got engaged like last year, maybe the year before. They're like in a long engagement. They're gonna get married like next year. But I did these photos for them. They like wanted to go to like the beach, and it was like the three of us, and like he's like my brother. Like we hang out like the three of us like all together, but they wanted to go to the beach, and my sister saw this photo on Pinterest where you put the ring in the sand and then you shoot through the ring and like you can see both of them. So like I was just like taking pictures of them, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this shot for her and I'm gonna do it as a surprise, like because they were in the sand, she like had taken off all of her like jewelry and stuff and like had it over there. So I like did the picture for them. It was so romantic. He had like picked her up, almost like the Dirty Dancing type thing.
Love that.
And she was like up in the air, and I had gotten the perfect picture through it. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, honestly. What kind of love? Like romantic, or like just like love, or okay.
I will let you know when I experience.
today, feel love today. Yeah, I've been with my man all day, so yeah, I feel
yeah, absolutely,
all day.
absolutely.
Have you experienced it? Do you genuinely think you've experienced it?
Yes and no. Like, I mean, I feel like I've experienced love in terms of like familial love. Like, so I, like, as a kid, I was very much responsible for all of my siblings, and like I almost feel like their parent. So I have like that more like unconditional like parent love that you have for children, and I've experienced that, and I feel like that's more like you could literally do anything. Well, not anything. not if you're gonna go murder somebody, but like there's like
Within reason.
like, no, we're not gonna continue to be in a relationship. But I feel like there's a lot that you can do in that type of love, where you're like, okay, I am willing to like hear you out, see what you have to say, and like I give you the benefit of the doubt when you like do something that's out there, and like I want what's best for you regardless. Like, everything that I do is going to be something that is good for you. And, like, that is hard. Like, in a relationship, like, you can be unconditional, but it's almost not the same, because in a relationship or, like, in romantic love, like, I feel like I have felt that, but in a different way. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, my last relationship, I definitely was, like, in love, but I wasn't, like, this is the person I want to spend my life with. Like, we had a lot in common, but it felt like it was, like, one of those, we are dating because we were interested in each other at first, and, like, we had a lot in common, and we kind of, like, fell into this, and then it was not, like, exactly what I don't know, like, it just didn't feel like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It didn't feel like this is it, like, this is, like, I don't know, like, it was just, we're hanging out together, and it's not, like...
You're dating because it's easy to do.
Yes, and it took me a while to, like, get up, like, the courage to be like, this is not, like, I'll give you an example. Like, earlier you were asking about the romantic moments, and I was like, I don't know, I don't know, like, I want somebody who listens to me and isn't going to question, like, well, not that isn't going to question, because that's not true, but, like, isn't going to, like, judge me for things that I, like, want to put out there. I just want somebody who will listen, and then if there's something they need to, like, say that, like, should be questioned, absolutely question me and, like, say what needs to happen. But, like, if, I don't know, it was just like it wasn't going anywhere. We weren't growing together. I was growing, but it wasn't, like, a continual growth. So I felt like it was more like a puppy love type thing. It was like we're young, and, like, we've been in this, and, like, I'm, like, blushing. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't found that, like, we're gonna grow together and we're gonna, like, share that love continually, and, like, I feel like there is a possibility for that, but I don't need it right now.
But I think if I had to pick something that would probably be, like, one of the worst things that I've heard or, like, had to experience or, like, had to live through, I don't have a father. My mom split with him before I was born, but a lot of times whenever she tells me stories about him, they're not particularly great. So hearing that, like, the trauma that my mom went through with an abusive husband and stuff like that, like, it's just never... It's really hard to hear your mom, like, suffer, like, things that she suffered through, and, like, knowing who she is now, and, like, knowing, like, obviously your mother is your mother, and, like, can do, like, you love them like you said, unconditionally, familial love and everything. You try, and yeah, it's just hard to hear them going through hardships. Like, you don't ever, your parents are supposed to be this, like, this unwavering rock of, like, stability when you're growing up, and, like, hearing that, like, it wasn't like that for them, or, like, they struggled or had these issues or things, especially things along the lines of abuse and scary things like that, can be really, I'm going to say, frustrating, for lack of a better word, and that I would probably, on the spot, without much thought, that's probably would be my answer.
Probably getting a phone call a few years back that a friend of mine committed suicide. He was a close friend.
For me, it was losing my mom. My mom passed away several years back, so that was, like, of course, the hardest thing of life. So, I mean, don't nothing trump that.
Recently, like, I got one. Okay, recently, it's not the most hurtful, harmful, whatever, but it really, like, shook me and made me, like, change my decisions, or change, like, how I was thinking about the decisions that I made. But, like, with my mom, like, she never meant anything that she did maliciously. Like, it was all, like, because she cared about me and she didn't know any better. But, like, she told me recently, like, she tried to give us, like, like when I worked in my corporate job, I made, like, I'm the oldest of 5, and like I made more than my parents combined at my corporate job than they did when we were younger. So like we didn't grow up with money at all, and like she really, like, she worked 7 days a week. She did a lot of stuff, and my dad, like, he had like severe like mental health problems and like didn't really do as much as he could have to like support the family. So like I really had to step up and be that parent and in that role. And then my mom kind of like was like, yeah, I did like literally everything. I worked 7 days a week. Like I couponed, like I did all this stuff just so you guys could do things. And I'm like, I had told her, like, in that letter that I wrote her, that I didn't have a childhood. And she's like, well, I wanted to give you a childhood. Like, I wanted to do all of this stuff. And I'm like, but that's your perspective. And, like, I lived a completely different one. Like, so it hurt because I spent 10 years, like, being really angry at her for making me, like, put me in really tough positions and, like, not allowing me to have, like, a childhood. Like, from the age of 10, I was basically the parent. So it's like, I was upset with her, and I spent all this time like really angry, and I wouldn't have had to if she had just told me like her side of things. But I mean, we live and we learn. Ooh.
I can go with that.
Okay.
I mean, we talked about this at lunch, but like I said, like you're the kind of person that, like, one, you're much cooler than I am. And this interview has exceedingly shown that. But, like, you do make me want to be, like, a better person. Like, I know, like, when we first met, like, I wasn't as in tune with a lot of, like, issues. And, like, not... I don't want to say I'm an activist now, but, like, God knows I was so far from it back when I first met you. But, like, I know that, like, you've had, like, a very good influence on a lot of the viewpoints and things that I think about on a regular basis. And I know that I don't want to say that had I not met you, I wouldn't be where I am today with a lot of my viewpoints, but I know that you definitely influenced a lot of them. So you helped me grow a lot. Beat that. Now you have to go second.
I appreciate how thoughtful and affectionate he is. Like, if I say something that I like something, then he'll go out and buy it. One day that I forgot about it, or he's just thoughtful and affectionate and kind, and he's just always on point with like what I need. Like, he listens and he pays attention to me, so that's really nice. He's very attentive, so those are the things that I love.
We met at a networking event. He was like, you graduated like me
A year before, yeah.
Yeah, but he like came in and he like worked at this place, but he didn't even work there anymore.
We ended up like following up with a lunch at Panera.
Yeah. He like came to this networking event, and like I guess he had just quit his job, but he like made it seem like he really like had a really good job at this like startup, and I was like, wow, like I would love to work there, whatever. So we like introduced each other, and like they were like, oh, we're gonna get lunch and network and whatever. I don't know, like I feel like you've made me grow in different ways too, because like I don't know, like I never would have done this, like like never in a million years would I have been in front of the camera like answering questions like this. He made me do like he had not the Taylor Swift podcast, he has another one. It's like
we don't need to plug it. We don't need to plug it. No one needs to listen to it.
There's another podcast that he has where you like drink beer and like answer questions. But he like had me do that and like get out of my comfort zone, and like I now have kind of like adapted that, and like I literally never would have done, like if you asked me like a couple of years ago to have done this, I would be like, no, I'm sorry, like I feel really bad, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna like literally if you weren't here I probably wouldn't have done this either, because I'm not like the kind of person where I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna talk to whatever, but I've been pretending that like I'm just talking this whole time.
For me, it's the strong woman aspect. Her being a strong woman, a strong mom, you know what I mean, having a strong mind. All of those things together make a great woman. So it's all of the above for me.
Had to throw my pride to the side, had to get it on my own. Carry my team on my back like I'm called Malone. I'm steady wheezy out the lungs, but ain't no Holly Grove. Wake up knocking off my D.